Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to the first chapter of the social media video editing tutorial. Okay, so in this first chapter, we'll be learning how to make Instagram Reel in the Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so here throughout this whole tutorial, we'll be learning the social media video editing things. Okay, so first off, I'll tell you how to make an Instagram Reel. We'll be using four of the particular video editing software, which is Premiere Pro, Canva, Filmora, and the DaVinci Resolve. Okay, so I'll be telling you guys how to use those while you're actually video editing for your social media, how you will be able to make some ads and all. We'll be learning about all of it here in detail. So let's not waste time and let's get started with the first chapter of making an Instagram reel using Adobe Premiere Pro. So here, as you guys can see, now here I am in the home page of the Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so basically this is the home page, and here you will be able to see up your recent works. You already know about how you can open up a project. Okay, so the first thing what you're going to do is I will be creating up a new project. Okay, and I will name this project as Instagram Reel. Okay, so I will just name this project as the Instagram Reel right over here. And also I will be able to select at what location do I want to put up my particular work. Okay, so let's come here. Let's go on top a little bit. Let's go to desktop. And from here, I will just save it here into my resource file. Okay, so as you guys can see, now I will just unmark both of this as I don't want it here in my video. Okay, and yeah, the import setting is quite fine. We'll check it once we try to export. We'll see the settings over there. But right now, I will just create up this particular project. So it might take some times to create up a project. Okay, so here you guys can see now on my screen, you guys can see that I do have the Adobe Premiere Pro page right over here. Okay, so the first thing what you're going to do is you need to import media. Okay. So here you guys can see now I do have the Instagram Reel option right over here. And I want to just put out some videos. So let's open this video up, and here I have imported the video. Okay. So basically from my source window, I will be able to check out the size right over here. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is, as I am right over here, you guys can see now there is an option called the new item. Okay, so I will just click onto the new item from here, and as you guys know, I want to create a sequence right over here. Okay, so once you click on sequence here, you guys will be able to see that I do have a lot of presets which I already do have right over here. Okay, so if you just want to take any of the preset right from here, you guys will be able to take some preset from here as well. Okay, so this is social media portrait. Okay, and but for me, I will come here and I will try to take any of this size which I do have under HD. Okay, so for Instagram Reel, okay, so the frames per second there is 25 to 30 frames per second. They do take that much, and the size of the document or the frame is about 19,080 into 1920. So it's kind of like that. So what I'll do is I will just take this particular preset. Here you guys can see all the information which I do have right over here. Okay, and now I will just click onto this one, and now I will just name this sequence right over here, and I will name this sequence as 1. Okay, so I will just name this sequence as 1. Let me just bring it here on top a little bit. Okay, so I will just come here and let me just bring this thing here on top, and what I can do is I can just click on OK. So once I am done creating this sequence, I can come here and I can just click on enter. Okay, so here you guys can see this is how it will actually look. And if you want to delete it, you guys can come here and just click onto the cut option, and it will get deleted over here as well. Okay, so now again, I don't have any sequence. Go to this item option again, go to the sequence option right over here, and once you have selected this particular frame, okay, so now I will go to the settings, and here make sure that you have this particular settings right over here. And now here you guys can see, now I do have a vertical frame. Okay, so I will just change this one right over here, so I'll just put 1080 into 1920. Okay, so I will just put here 1920. Okay, so here you guys can see, now this one kind of looks quite like this. And if you want to move it up, okay, you guys will also be able to move it up according to your liking as well. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have your frames to 29.97 frames per second. Okay, and for aspect ratio, you need to make sure that this one is quite fine. And if you want to take any other one right over here, you guys can also do that. But here you need to select that you do have this rec 709. Okay, so I will just select the rec 709, and in audio 48,000 hertz is fine right over here. And I will just view display format will be in audio samples. Okay, and how you want to preview your file format. Okay, so here you guys can choose how you want to preview your file format right over here. Okay, so I will just keep it in QuickTime. Okay, and if you want to change any tracks, like how many tracks do you want, if you want to add any, you guys can add. And in case you do have a VR video which is done using VR, you guys can come here and take out the settings from here as well. Okay, and once I am done creating this particular page, if you want to save this particular preset, you guys can click on save. Okay, then now here you guys can name this one Instagram Reel preset. Okay, so I will just write Instagram Reel preset, and I will just click on OK right over here. And here you guys can see, now I do have applied that particular thing right over here. Okay, and here as I have created this, now if I just click on enter, here you guys can see, now I do have this particular size over here as well. Okay, so what will happen is, suppose now I have already created the sequence. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put out my video, the one which I have imported here onto my screen. Okay, so in that case, what I need to do is I need to click on this one and just drag and drop it right here onto my timeline. Okay, so once you just put on this particular thing into your timeline, what basically happens is that it will show you a warning sign. Okay, so this warning sign is basically of clip mismatch warning. Okay, so they're telling me that this clip does not match the sequence setting. Okay, so do you want to change the sequence to match the clip setting? Okay, so whenever this particular thing comes onto your window, make sure to always click on the always ask. And what you can do is you can just click on keep existing setting. Okay, which will remain. Okay, and if you want to change the sequence settings, that means that the settings which already do have it in your video. Okay, so your video is not the same size or not the same frame rate as you do have your sequence. Okay, if you want to keep the existing settings, you guys click on keep existing settings. Now here you guys can see this particular footage which I do have over here. It's kind of big. Okay, like comparatively it's quite large. Okay, and if you want to increase it, okay, if you want to zoom in right over here, let's select this one, let's just put it back over here again, and I'll just click on keep existing settings. And from here, if you want me to select this one, what I can also do right from here is I will come here, I will just click onto this option, and here you guys can see I do have media browsers and library. So now what I want to do is, if you want to see it properly, like kind of like this here in the whole frame. In that case, I will also be able to resize my workspace. Okay, so let me just decrease it quite over here, that I will be able to view this particular place quite properly. Okay, so now what will do right over here is I will take this one, and now I want to do some editing. Okay, so in this case, if you want to do some editing right over here, the first thing what you need to do is you need to come over here and go to Windows option and make sure that you do have your effects panel on. Okay, so you need to make sure that your effects panel is on. You guys can come here, click on to the effects option, and from here there are video different effects which are right over here. Okay, so this one is one. There are different lumetri presets, audio effects, audio transitions. Okay, so there are a lot of many which you guys can use. Otherwise, if you want to go for effects control, you guys can come here and you guys will be able to control the size right over here. Okay, so here, if I want to just zoom in or zoom out, quite like this, okay, you guys will be able to do it from here. Okay, so here now, if I just click on 50%, let's come here and let's click on 50. Okay, and if I just click on enter, you guys can see how it actually looks right now. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to put this thing right over here. If you want to add any other kinds of keyframes, you guys will also be able to put on different keyframes, okay, which we'll be learning later into our class when we go for animation. But here I will just show you guys one very basic Instagram reel which you guys will be able to create right over here. Okay, so under the effects control panel, you will be having all this setting which you will be able to use. If you want to give this thing a rotation, you guys will also be able to give this a rotation right over here. If you want to see the preview, how it actually looks, you guys can basically see from here. Okay, so this is a 15 seconds video. If you want to decrease the size or trim this on a little bit from the sides, you guys can come here and maybe you guys will be able to trim it quite from here as well. Okay, so now come here and now just decrease the size a little bit, and yeah, this one looks good. So now I want to just duplicate this layer. Suppose what I want to do is I will just decrease the size of the frame. Okay, so now in this case, let's go for the scale option. And now I will just turn off the uniform scaling option. And in that case, what I'm going to do is I will turn this off, and now I will just check the scale width. Okay, I will just keep the width from here as well. Okay, so here you guys can see, if you just want to go back the way it was before, you guys will also be able to do it from here as well. Okay, so if you want to just decrease the size of the frame, here you guys will also be able to decrease the size of the frame from here. If you just move here, okay, and if I just move here from the sides as well. Okay, so let's come right over here. If you want to move this frame up, you guys will be able to move this frame over here as well. Okay, so once you are done using it, you can also do another thing. Suppose if I come here and let me just put the uniform scaling option, and if I just come here, let's just decrease the size. I will come here, I will just reset the way how it was before. I will reset this thing right over here as well. Okay, so let me just put it quite like this. Okay, so here you guys can see, I will just keep this one quite like this. And what I'll do is I will come here on top. Let's just increase the size right over here. And now I will select this. I will click on Alt and I will just copy this one. Okay, Control C right over here. And I will just click on Control V here as well. Okay, so now if you want to see or just duplicate this one, here you guys can just click on copy and you guys can just paste it right over here. Otherwise, what you can also do is you can just take the same one right over here, and now you guys can just decrease the size accordingly. Okay, so I will just decrease the size accordingly. So here you guys can see the changes over here a little bit. Okay, because the frames right over here, and suppose I will come here onto the top one. Okay, so I will just come here on the top one, and now what I'm going to do is I will come here and I will go to the effects panel. Okay, so let me go to the effects panel, and now I will search for the video effects, and from here I will type a Gaussian blur. Okay, so I will just type this Gaussian blur. Under that one, I do have this particular option called the Gaussian blur. Okay, so if I want to apply, I just need to drag and drop this one onto that particular icon. Okay, so here you guys can see now I do have the Gaussian blur option right over here. And the same way, if you go to the effects control here, if you come down here, you guys can see I do have the Gaussian blur option right over here. Okay, so I have added two. Let's delete one right from here. Let's just cut it out. Let's come here onto the Gaussian blur option. And if you want to increase it, you guys will be able to increase it quite like this. Okay, so let's come here and let's just delete this thing up. Otherwise, let's just keep this one right over here and let's type somewhat around 80. Okay, so I will just click on enter. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to replace the placing. Okay, so I will just keep it right over here, bring it down. Okay, so if I do wanna bring it down right over here, I can also bring it down. And now I want to just bring it here on top. Okay, this particular frame which I do have right over here, I will just bring this frame, and what I'm going to do is I will come here and I'll just put it right over here. Okay, so now if you try to see this, okay, so here you guys can see. So when I come to the option of blurriness, here you guys can see as this one do have some effects. Okay, so on the back side there also you guys can able to see that I do have the blurriness right over here on the sides. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to add these things up. If you want to work more with this particular thing, then come to this option, go to effects control, and here you guys can also select the dimension of the blur. Okay, so if you want the blur to be horizontal or you want only it to be vertical, this is how it will actually look, but I'll just put it in both the sides. And now I have selected the blurriness. The next thing what I'm going to select is I am going to go to the graphics and title option, and after that I will click add fonts from Adobe Fonts. Okay, so if I just click onto this one, it will just redirect me directly to the Adobe Fonts option, and from there I will be able to add different things over here. Okay, so from here basically if you want to come here, let's go to this particular page, and now if you want to add some install some motion graphic templates, if you already do have over here, you guys will be able to add from here as well. Okay, so now under the graphics and titles option, I will go to text option. Okay, so here as I have selected the text option, here you guys can see I do have a page right over here. Okay, and what I can do is I can just increase the text size if I want. Okay, so I will just click on backspace and I will write the sunset or the ocean. Okay, so I will just write the ocean right over here. Okay, and now you guys will also be able to see the motion graphic templates which I do have used right over here. If I just bring it here on top, okay, so here you guys can see I do have this particular template. I'll put it right over here and I want it to stay the whole page. And what I'm going to do now is, again, I am going to come here and I'm going to decrease it as I'm going to work with the text right over here. And now I will just Control Z. And once I've selected this, here you guys can see under the essential graphics option, I do have different options the way I want to align it. Okay, if you want to align it to the center, okay, I will be able to align it here in the center. So the first thing what I'm going to do is I am going to change the text type. Okay, so let me just select this text type right over here, and now I will just select it. Let me just place it somewhere right over here. Okay, so let's take the selection tool, and using the selection tool you guys will be able to move it up quite over here. If you want to increase the size, you guys will be able to increase the size from here as well. Okay, so now I will just select it right over here, and I will just delete this thing up. And here you guys can see now I do have a size of the Instagram reel. If you want to put on different effects, you guys will also be able to put on different effects from here as well. Okay, so now if I just play it, let's see how it actually looks. Okay, so this is just a basic one. Okay, if you want to come here, let's say you want to do some uh more editing right over here, let's come here, let's select this place. Okay, and let's come here onto the graphics option, and you guys will be able to edit from here as well. If you just go here on top, let's go to edit option. I will select it from here, and if you want to transform this thing down, you guys will be able to transform it from here as well. So I have selected it. I can also change the opacity or the transparency over here. Okay, if you want to change the color of the text, you guys will be able to change the color of the text from here. And let's also add up a stroke. Okay, but here what I'm going to do is I am going to use white color stroke. So I will just put stroke for 2.0 means 2, and here you guys can see now I do have this particular rail right over here. Okay, so once you're done, you can also add music. Okay, so for that I will come here and now I will try to download some free musics. Okay, so I will come here and I will just click onto this particular website called the Victezi. Okay, so basically from here you guys will be able to get different types of these photos, videos, and templates. So here I will just download a video first. Okay, so if you want to actually put up any pngs and all in your video, this is quite a stunning website from where you guys will be able to download these things quite nice. Okay, so here you guys can see now if you want to download these patterns and all, I will just come here, I'll take this banner, and what I'm going to do is I am going to download one of it from here. Okay, so let's take this particular banner and let's click on to this option, and I will be searching for all the free files which I do have over here. Okay, so here under the license you guys can come here and select the option called the free license, and onto the free license here you guys can see these are few of the files. Okay, you guys will be able to download the free files from here as well. Okay, so now I will just click onto the free download, I will just download it for free. Okay, so this is quite a handy thing which you will be able to use to do some editing. You can directly put it into your Premiere Pro as well. Okay, so I will come right over here. So this was about the Vectezi. Okay, and here are different websites which you guys can also check out. So for now, I will just delete this part and let's come right over here. And what I'm going to search is I am going to search for Pixabay. Okay, so this is also a great website from where you guys will be able to download royalty free musics. Okay, so they do also have these images and stuff here as well. And I'll just come here onto the music option, and from here I will be downloading some of the music. Okay, so you guys can also listen to the preview of the music. So I will just download it right over here. Okay. And you guys will also be able to just pause it from the same option. Okay. So now my file is being getting downloaded. So again, I will just go here onto the Premiere Pro. Okay. And once my file is downloaded, I will just double click right over here and I'll go to my downloads. I will just take this one right over here. And what I can also do is I will just take this particular file as well and I'll open it over here. Okay. So the first thing what I want to do is I want to just put out this particular vector, which I have. So for that, I will just decrease the size from here a little bit. And if I do want to decrease the size of this things right over here, I will also be able to do that from here as well. Okay, so I will just decrease the size from here. If you want to decrease it, you guys can decrease the size from here. And now what I can also do is let me come right here on the down part. Let's select it. And what you can do is you can just directly put this thing right here on top. Okay, so if I just put this thing right over here, and what I can do is after just selecting this one, I will again go to my effects control panel. Okay, so I will come here and go to the effects control, and from here I am going to scale this thing down. Okay, so I'm just going to scale this thing down, and now I will just position it here in one corner. Okay, and now I am going to take this down here as well. Okay, so I will just take this down right over here, and to this exact point I will just keep this uh quite like this. Okay, and the last thing which I'm going to do in case of this is I'm going to take my audio directly right over here. And now the first thing what I'm going to do is I am going to take my razor tool and I will just give this one a cut over here, select it, and just come here, select this last box and just press delete. Okay, so I will just delete this part. Otherwise you guys can directly give up a cut from here as well. Okay, so I will just increase this vector here as well. So this is how it actually looks right now. So let's see the last preview before importing. Okay, so here you guys can see this is how the reel will look like. Okay, so now once I am done, I will go for the export option. So under the export option, you guys can come here, select on to the export option. And here it might take some time to process this thing out. Okay, here you guys can see it is being loaded. And basically here you guys can see you can directly publish into your YouTube account, or if you do want to use it to your Facebook, they do have all of this platform. If you do have account in all of this, there you guys will be able to publish it directly right from here. Okay, so this is the thing, and here you guys can see what is the file name. Okay, so I will just change the file name to Instagram Reel. Okay, so I will just name it as Instagram Reel over here. Okay, and once you're done here, you guys can also select the location. So last time I have already selected the location, and as you want to take it in a MP4 format, okay, so in that case, you guys can select the H.264 option. And in preset, I already do have the adaptive high bitrate. Okay, so if you want to see more options right over here, if you want to actually import these presets, you guys will be able to import the preset from here as well. Okay, so I have selected the adaptive high bitrate right over here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I will come here onto the video option. Okay, so here you guys can already see I have just matched the source. And here if you want to look for more for the high quality video which you do need, okay, so in that case you guys can come here and let's bring this thing down. Okay, so here just keep render at maximum depth. For time interpolation, free sampling is fine. And now let's just come down a little bit. Okay, if you want to come down a little bit right over here, and here you guys can see the encoding settings. Okay, so there is hardware encoding, and I will just come down here as well. Okay, so everything right over here you guys can check, and into the bitrate settings, you guys, instead of putting cbr, make sure you select the vbr1 pass. Okay, because the way now you're able to preview your video, so in that case also you will be able to get the same video how you are saving this file. Okay, so out of experience, in vbr1 pass you will have a better quality. Okay, so for me, I would love to keep it between 15 to 10. Okay, so I will just keep it somewhere around here 14. Okay, so here you guys can see the changes, and if you come down, this part is basically done. Okay, and now let's check for the audios. So for audios, make sure that you do have 48,000 hertz, and here you do have the stereo channel selected. Otherwise, you can also select the mono. So I'll just keep the mono, as I do have only one, so it won't break the sound. And yeah, effects and all, everything is being applied. And once you're done, here what you can do is you can just click onto the export option, and here you guys can see the file over here is only 29 MB. Okay, so if you increase it, it will also increase, but in that 29 MB you will have the best quality possible over here. Okay, so here I will just wait for some time to get this one downloaded. Okay, so these are being imported, my particular video. Then I can show you guys what is the final result. So here, as this file has been exported, so what I can do is I'll come right over here, and now I will go to my desktop. So here, now I am done with creating the Instagram reel. It has been exported. So now if you want to see, so this is how my Instagram reel actually looks like. So the way I edit it, it just looks the same. The frame size is fine. The quality is okay. So I'll just close it up. So yeah, I hope you guys have understood this class on how you will be able to download your Instagram reel video. So see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.